Hey guys, what is up? Happy New Year's. Today is January 1st, 2020, a new decade. Hope you all are well. As you can see from the title, we will be reviewing, which I should have done this yesterday, but I just had no time. We will be reviewing my year of 2019. I got the idea from Pinterest to just write down monumental occasions that happened through the year. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't put everything in here. I didn't put that my best friend got married on the 21st of December. I didn't put that I started a new medication just like last week. Like it, as the year came to an end, I didn't really put much in here. But let me turn that down. I think I'm getting sick, which isn't cool because the flu is going around at my job and I'm not looking forward to having a flu. But I have a little tickle in my throat and my nose is a little stuffy and I can just kind of feel stuff happening inside and I'm not excited about it whatsoever. But let's get into the video. As I said, just like monumental things I wrote down, put in this jar from Dollar Tree. It says not all who wander are lost. So let's get into it. So I'm just gonna dump them all out. And here we go. First one up. Oh, you couldn't even see that. 1/26. So January 26th. Andy's first birthday party. Andy is my niece. She will be turning 2 at the end of this month. And we had her first birthday party. I remember it so distinctly. She was adorable. And 1/31, Andy turned 1. So she, like I said, she'll turn 2 at the end of the month. 9/7, these are in no order whatsoever. 9/17, we had to put Millie to sleep. Millie was my dog that my dad got for me when I was, I believe, in junior high. She was a Cocker Spaniel Terrier mix. She was roughly 14 years old, 13, 14. And it all happened so fast. One day she just wasn't herself. I remember messaging Alicia asking like if she had gotten sick in the morning, like whenever I wasn't here, or like if she was seeming okay to her, and as far as she knew, everything was fine, but she just wasn't acting herself. She wasn't eating, she wasn't really drinking as much as she usually did. And when Alicia got home from work that day, she was rubbing her stomach and she said, "Did you feel this?" And I said, "No." And she had this large lump on her underside, which when we got her back from my dad earlier in the year, we took her to the vet because honestly then I didn't think she was going to make it. I thought we were going to have to put her down back then. But the vet said that she had mammary tumors, but he wasn't too concerned about them. But she had this large lump on one of her teats, and then she had several other lumps on the other ones. And it was just getting bigger and bigger, and she was having a harder time moving around. She was eating a little bit more by the time we took her to the vet. But the vet gave us the option to either put her to sleep, start her on an antibiotic and warm compresses for a week. But if that hadn't worked at the end of the week, he said she would have needed surgery to get rid of the infection. And we didn't have the money for that. And I knew that she was suffering, even though she was eating again. I just didn't want her to suffer. And reality is she was old. Like, I still harbor like a lot of guilt from that. And I really need to let that go. But I know that she's in a better place. I know that she is running carefree now. And I know that she's just a lot happier now. So that was that. 3/28, which is Alicia's Well, I'll get into that in a little bit. 328, Babe came to therapy. Alicia was so against coming to therapy with me. Honestly, she told me that I was the one that had issues. She didn't need to go. Now that she went, I feel like she's a little glad that she came, because we've been able to work through some issues. We've been able to talk more openly, and my therapist has been able to help us communicate back and forth a lot better than we would if we were by ourselves. So that was a huge milestone in my opinion. 4-1, Bobby Joe came back to work. Bobby Joe is my boss. She was the reason that I transferred jobs in the first place. She is so amazing. She's just awesome. So that was very monumental to me because things were so chaotic without her being there. So yeah, it was awesome when she came back. 421, today is Easter. We haven't fought in about 3 weeks. We have been really good. Went to therapy together for the second time. So therapy was still going well. You'll have to forgive my sick sounding. I know I sound under the weather. 217, been obsessed with reading. Not that that's really important, but I was like obsessed with reading. Like I literally read no matter what in my spare time. That was all I ever did in my spare time was reading. Not that it's a bad thing, but it was just odd that that was literally all I was doing. 614, I'm realizing there's no reason for not being open about my thoughts and feelings with Alicia. My fear was she'd leave if I told her the truth, but wouldn't that be a good thing? So I'm not living a lie. I need to be me, honest. So a lot of things from my past are affecting me as an adult that I didn't realize were going to, because when they happened, I just kind of pushed them out of my mind to not deal with. And I figured, eventually they would just go away. But I'm realizing now that they are, in fact, coming to the surface, and they are, in fact, bothering me more than I would like to admit. So that was a breakthrough, I would say. 4-6, went to diner for light lunch unplanned. Went to drag show, and she said I looked sexy. Great day. One of my biggest things with Alicia is that she doesn't compliment me. And I know that sounds like, but like I struggle with my appearance. I struggle with feeling my self-esteem. I struggle with my self-esteem. And when Alicia does compliment me, it's always that I look nice. And that's all she would say. You look nice. And I don't know, that just doesn't make me feel pretty. That doesn't make me feel beautiful. That doesn't make me feel anything. So for her to say that I looked sexy, like, that was a big deal for me, and it really boosted my confidence that night. 2-8, I worked night shift and was up since 10 p.m. on 2-7. Babe took off work and we went to Altoona, looked for new furniture, ate at Denny's, took her ring to get fixed and cleaned. Very awesome day. No arguing, just like when we first started dating. That was a good day. We went to, like it said, look at furniture. We ended up purchasing new furniture. But long story short, it just didn't work out. So 626. We've had 3 really good therapy sessions. I'm opening up and telling Alicia / talking to Beth, who's my therapist, about things I've been trying my best to forget. Things are looking up, smiley face. So there's that. 731, started Vibrid, which is a medicine to treat depression. As you saw in my other videos, it ended up not being the right medication for me. So, yeah. 422, we walked Shawnee Lake today together, which was a 3.5-mile walk. It was around this giant lake. It was very nice. It was nice that we just had that time one-on-one. And even though she walked ahead of me most of the walk, like, we still were talking and communicating and, like, having a good time. So that was really nice. 3/28, again, Babe's 1-year surgery anniversary. She received gastric bypass on 3/28/18. Her starting weight was, as of the day of surgery, was 315.9, and her current weight then was 247. So she had lost 68 pounds in a year. 6/12. Things got really serious at therapy. I didn't realize how much I have held back and tried to forget. Mini breakthrough with a question mark. I think that was the day that I opened up about my mom's ex-boyfriend being mean. I don't know. 6/7-ish. Alicia taking classes to get her high school diploma. She's still doing classes. She doesn't really have like what's it called? A deadline. So she kind of lacks the discipline to like get it done. So I feel like that's going to be taking her a while to get done, but she is still doing it. I'm proud of her for sticking with it. 1/17, we had sex for the first time since 1/26/18. So we went almost a whole year without sex. I'm not even going to comment on that because it's always an issue. 9/17, put Millie to sleep. Oh, that's right. I have that in there twice. That was such a shitty day. 2/23, for the first time, bought brand new furniture. Went to Longhorn for late anniversary / Valentine's Day dinner. We bought a sectional, and they said it would be 2 to 3 weeks. And I think 2 weeks went by, and still nothing. We called, nothing. 3 weeks went by, and they said that it wasn't ordered, or it was misplaced somehow. I forget which one it was, but either way, we ended up getting... Did we get a refund? I think. But there was like this big ordeal about getting the refund and like getting just what we paid in for it back and not getting the furniture. So needless to say, we haven't gotten new furniture, and we are so in need of new furniture. 6/13, finished first term, aced both classes. So far I'm only getting A's, and I think I got 1 B. I think that was the only one. In current events of all things, like, they shouldn't call it current events because I feel like we focus more on history than current events. So, and I was never good in history, so I still got a B though, so that's all that matters. So I've only gotten 2 certificates for 2 terms. So the one I had all A's, so I was on the president's list, and then the second term I got all A's and then the B, and then I was on the dean's list. So that made me feel really good. 10/20, Graham passed away. I was fortunate enough to be there the day, well, I was there about a week. Her last week there, I was there, and then probably like 2-ish weeks before that I went up, and before that it was about 2 weeks prior to that I was up. But the crazy thing is like a month prior to her passing, she was like up and walking around and like everything like that. But I was just lucky enough to be there when it happened with my aunt and my mom. And things have been difficult since she left. Things just don't feel the same without her. So 1 through 113, I don't know why I did that, but it says Alicia agreed to go to a counseling session. Now, that was huge because she, like I said, she was so against it. So for her to agree to it meant a lot to me. 119, Babe drove me to and from work in middle of state of emergency snow / ice storm. I remember that day as well, very vividly. I worked 4 to 12:30, 4 p.m. to 12:30 a.m., and she drove me to and from, and that was very, very sweet of her. So, like I said, there were some things I didn't include in the video or in the jar, but it's a new year. I'm going to be doing it again for this year, and hopefully it's a new tradition that I will carry on through the years. But I hope you guys had a wonderful and safe New Year's. I hope 2020 brings you all nothing but blessings and happiness, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.